Hey everybody, it's Cauliflower Man here, and I'm bringing you guys a video on different cryptocurrencies to buy and sell. The first thing that I want to get out there just immediately is that you cannot take my advice as though like it's the word of God. You can't follow me blindly, because you will lose a lot of money. There's one reason, like even if I'm right, because like if you did follow me blindly, there's still a good chance you're going to make money. I'm very confident in my choices. If you actually look down, the third choice that I have, it's actually one that I think you should buy, is Zen Cash. When I made my first video on Zen Cash, the price was $6.50. It's now around $25 at the time of me making this video, at least. It's been going crazy. So you know, I've been making good calls. I called Chainlink out, said it was going to go bust. It did. I made a video on Zen Cash. I don't know if you call like 4 times increase in price going to the moon, but it's starting to go to the moon. I don't know how long it'll continue going up or down. But anyways, like I make good choices. I've been making good calls, but you have to understand why I'm making these calls in order for you to actually, invest in this sort of stuff. Because the second thing is like if you're following me blindly, even if the coin makes a lot of money, you can lose a lot of money, because if you don't understand why the coin is valuable, if things go south, you'll start making the wrong decisions. Okay, so in cryptocurrencies, you make or lose a huge amount of money in a very short amount of time. And so when you start losing money, you get real freaked out. And if you don't understand why your coin is valuable, you won't keep using it, or you'll sell it off, and then if the price rebounds, you'll just hate yourself forever. So you really have to understand and have confidence in a coin that you're investing in. Otherwise, you really shouldn't be investing in it. So anyways, I'm first just going to go down the list and real quickly just introduce the coins that I'm talking about and whether I think you should buy or sell it, and then I'll talk about them individually. So the first one is Zcoin. Zcoin's my favorite by far of all the altcoins in existence, because it's the dark horse. In case anyone's not familiar with that term, it just means nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it, but it should be coming up strong. The reason why it should be coming up strong is because it uses the Zcoin protocol that offers zero knowledge. Now, the zero knowledge that the Zcoin protocol offers is technically more secure and stable and safe than the zero knowledge that the ZK Snarks uses, and ZK Snarks, that's what Zcash uses, and the price of Zcash is like $250. ZK Snarks are all the rage right now, but they're technically inferior to the Zcoin protocol in just about every way. The only way that the ZK Snarks is better than the Zcoin protocol is that it's slightly more private, but they both give you zero knowledge, so it's the same thing, but just slightly better. It's almost like, I don't know. There's not the best way to describe it is like when you're talking about the concept that there are different levels of infinity. Like you can have an infinite number of whole numbers, and then there's also an infinite number of fractions, but there's more fractions than whole numbers, but they're both infinite. That's what I mean when I say like the one-way zero knowledge that Zcoin offers. It's slightly worse than the two-way zero knowledge that Zcash offers, but they're both still zero knowledge. So what's really the difference? Like it's interesting. It's an interesting concept theoretically, but practically speaking, there's no difference between the privacy between Zcoin and Zcash. Now, our next coin that I want to talk about too, that I really like, is PIVX. Now PIVX, it also uses the Zcoin protocol, and it also offers CoinJoin. I've seen a lot of comments that say it only offers Zcoin now. Well, I've downloaded the PIVX wallet. I don't own PIVX, so I haven't sent any PIVX using, the CoinJoin method, but it literally offers CoinJoin on its wallet, like on the main page. It says right there, do you want to mix your coins or whatever? Do you want to start mixing your coins, and for how many rounds do you want to do it? So I think you guys are mistaken when you say it doesn't offer mixing. Now I know it also offers the Zcoin protocol. The one thing I'm not sure about is whether or not the Zcoin protocol, like it always is using that, or if it's optional. With Zcoin, it's optional, and I've talked about this in videos before. I always like things when they offer you options. That way you can choose whether or not you want to use it, because sometimes you want to have privacy, other times you don't. That's just because sometimes you do want to see your transactions on the blockchain, other times you don't. So I really hope that PIVX doesn't always offer the Zcoin or like the zero knowledge transactions, because that just wouldn't be the best. That being said, I just am not, like, I haven't bought PIVX yet, or technically speaking, the coin's called PIV. Technically speaking, I haven't bought Zcoin, PIV, or Zen Cash. I wish I would have, but so it's not really a pump and dump. I guess you could say it's a pump and dump because I'm definitely buying all three of those coins. But anyways, with PIVX, I'm not sure whether or not it offers the zero knowledge all the time, or whether or not it's optional, so that'll be something to look into. But I know it offers the coin join because it's right there in the wallet, and it's asking me whether or not I want to mix my coins and for how many rounds. So, but anyways, PIVX is a great buy. One thing to remember about it is there's a lot more coins of it than Bitcoin, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. The next coin that I want to talk about is Zen Cash, and again, like I said when I made my first video on Zen Cash, it was $6.50. Now it's 25. Okay, so for all you chain link people out there who keep or disliking all my videos, maybe you should listen. If you would have bought that Zen Cash, then maybe you would have a Lambo, but instead you just get your pink Wojaks. But anyways, Zen Cash, the reason why I really like Zen Cash is it's technically it uses the ZK Snark protocol, so it's a two-way zero knowledge protocol. So one reason why that's good is because there's more interest in it right now, and it's a still very low price, so it could easily catch up to Zcash. But everything about Zen Cash is better than Zcash. And what I mean by that is the founder's reward is lower. The founder's reward on Zcash is 20%. That's way high. On Zen Cash, it's 8.5%. Zen Cash also offers encrypted user, or it offers user end encryption. It's just more private than Zcash. And obviously the price is a lot lower. The other thing that I really love about Zen Cash is the developers are I don't want to say the best, but I love the developers of Zen Cash. There's this one guy who makes videos. He's like this bald white guy who looks really jacked, and he's just a badass. I love watching his videos, but he's really intelligent, and he really puts out a lot of information there for Zen Cash, and so I really love the developers on Zen Cash. So I really think Zen Cash should replace Zcash. Like I said, Zcoin is another zero knowledge cryptocurrency. I think Zcoin should do better than Zen Cash and Zcash, but that's just my personal thoughts. Again, the one thing about Zcoin is it's a dark horse, so that it has to gain traction somehow. Otherwise it'll never take off. Zen Cash already is starting to gain traction, so you can be there's more of a chance that Zen Cash will keep going up than there is a chance that Zcoin will start going up, but you never really know. But anyways, the fourth coin I wanted to talk about was Bitcoin Cash. Now Bitcoin Cash is really weird, and we'll talk about this when I talk about that coin individually. But the more I learn about the Lightning Network, the more I don't like it. Now, in case you don't know what the Lightning Network is, it's what is going to make Bitcoin a global payment system. So it's a good thing, but you could scale Bitcoin globally in other ways that I think are better. So Bitcoin Cash I think could be a good opportunity to buy. That being said, you should really think about it, because what really needs to happen for Bitcoin Cash to take off is it needs to scale globally, but do the scaling on the blockchain. So whether or not it will do that, I don't know, and it's probably actually more likely that a different cryptocurrency will come out that will scale the blockchain on the blockchain, or it will scale on the blockchain globally. The reason why I say it'll probably be a different cryptocurrency is that, generally speaking, when a developer comes out with a new cryptocurrency, they're very hungry, they really want to go out there and win. They want to dominate the market. Bitcoin Cash is a fork, so it doesn't really have as dedicated developers behind it. And then the final one that I wanted to talk about is Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin's the only one on this list today that I'm talking about that I think it's time to sell. The reason why is because the past low on Bitcoin was 167. Hopefully you guys had bought Bitcoin when it was lower than it is now. I'm not saying it's a bad buy now, but you can only expect after it's increased in price almost 40 times for it to drop. It can't go on forever, so how long will it go on? I have no idea. I'm currently selling Bitcoin. I'm going to be buying Zcoin, PIVX, and Zen Cash with the Bitcoin that I bought earlier this year at 900 bucks. So I made huge profit off that. This is a time to sell Bitcoin. I'm not necessarily if you don't have Bitcoin, obviously you can't sell it. Is it a bad time to buy Bitcoin? I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know when it will drop. It could still go up to 10,000 bucks. Who really knows? But generally speaking, when something has gone up this much, you really hope that you have already bought it beforehand so that you can sell, because now is the time to sell for Bitcoin. But anyways, let's talk about these individually. Again, going back to Zcoin, this one is the one that I call the dark horse. It's far more secure and stable than Zcash. Go look at the price of Zcash, it's like 230 bucks. Look at the price of Zcoin, it's like 10 bucks. The one great thing about something that has a price this low for like Zcoin is at 10 bucks, if you spend 210 bucks on Zcoin, you'll buy 21 coins. That'll give you 1/1,000,000th of the total currency supply, and that might not seem like that much, but 1/1,000,000th of any global currency, like if, let's just assume you're like Zcoin, or let's just assume you're talking about money for the United States. There's 300 million people in the United States. If you had 1/1,000,000th of the money used in the United States, you would be as rich as, or 300 times as rich as the average person. So for 210 bucks, if Zcoin takes off to the moon, like the profit potential is massive. And again, one thing to remember too, I talk about long-term trading here. I'm not talking about day trading. So when I say, like, if you're thinking about purchasing Zcoin, especially Zcoin, because it's a dark horse right now, so like it's got to gain traction somehow, and that can take time. This is something you buy and you just hold on to, okay? But the privacy on Zcoin, again, it's far better than Bitcoin. It's got zero knowledge zero knowledge privacy. You can't get better than zero knowledge. Like that's the best of the best, and Zcoin has it. Then yeah, again, finally, this last point, it's a young coin, and its price hovers around 10 bucks. So it's young, it's new. People don't really know about it. This is when you want to get in on a cryptocurrency. Right now, like, this is perfect. I'm not saying Zcoin's necessarily going to go up in value, but it's something you can just throw a couple bucks in. You don't even have to, like, let's say I don't want to say super poor, you know, that sounds insulting maybe, but let's say you don't have much money at all. Just spend 10 bucks on it, sit on it for like 4 years, see what happens. You know what I mean? That's like these are the coins where you can just throw a couple, like throw some money at it, not much, a couple $100, you know, and it could potentially turn into thousands or tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But anyways, the next coin I want to talk about individually here is PIVX. PIVX is it also uses the Zcoin protocol, so it's got zero knowledge on it, so that's beautiful. It also offers CoinJoin. Again, you just open up the wallet and it shows you the CoinJoin right there. I know people have commented that it doesn't, but it does. It's right there. I can see it. I haven't used it myself. That also begs the question, though, with PIVX. I don't know if the Zcoin, like if it always uses the Zcoin protocol, because if it does, then the CoinJoin is sort of superfluous, because zero knowledge is better than CoinJoin, but sometimes you might want CoinJoin instead of zero knowledge, but that would mean you would only be using CoinJoin and not be using zero knowledge. So like I got to do a little more research on that. You guys can do it yourself. But PIVX, I absolutely love PIVX. It dominates the proof of stake cryptocurrency market. There's really not any other proof of stake cryptocurrencies that compete with it. There might be, I mean, there's thousands of cryptocurrencies. I don't know them all, but it's basically the dominant proof of stake cryptocurrency. If it's not, it's like one of the top 2 or 3. I don't know all the cryptocurrencies, so I can't say it's necessarily number 1, but it's also got the most privacy options of any coin on the market. Like I said, it uses a Zcoin protocol and CoinJoin, or like you can use either. Well, I can't say you can use either or because I know you can choose whether or not you use CoinJoin. I don't know with PIVX whether or not you can choose whether you use the zero knowledge, because with Zcoin you can choose whether or not you use it. And I always love that about cryptocurrencies. But then the final point here is that PIVX has a Bitcoin calculated price of about 10 bucks. What I mean by that is that there's actually like 54 million PIVX out, or it's technically called PIV. The coin is called PIV. If you're talking about the thing as a whole, it's PIVX, but there's there's 54 million PIV, and it's at a price of around like $3.20 or something. So there's like 3 times as much PIV as there is Bitcoin, basically. So it's basically around 10 bucks. So its price is basically around where PIV or where Zcoin's is. And again, this is like the proof of stake. I do like proof of stake, not as much as I like proof of work, but it's super secure, and PIVX dominates the proof of stake market. So like, people really don't know how good proof of stake is within the cryptocurrency community, so I really think there's a lot of upward potential. Another thing that proof of stake offers is that if you buy some PIV, you can stake the PIV and gain, like, I don't know what it is exactly, I'll just guesstimate and say like a 2% return. So like, let's say you buy 100 PIV, you'll be able to stake those PIV. And again, I don't own any PIV yet. I will soon, so I'll be able to tell you guys exactly how to do this. but you'll be able to stake those PIV and you'll earn a return of about maybe 2% a year on it. So then, like that doesn't come with any other cryptocurrency. Like it comes with other proof of stake cryptocurrencies, but all these other ones that are proof of work, when you buy it, like you can't just stake it and gain a 2% return on it, but you can with PIVX or with PIV. So that's very interesting in and on its own. The next coin I'm going to talk about, and this is the final coin that has a low market cap here, is Zen Cash. Now, Zen Cash, I call it best in class because as far as the two-way zero knowledge cryptocurrencies go, there's 3 of them: Zcash, Zen Cash, and Z Classic. I personally think Zen Cash is the best in this class. It's superior to Zcash in every way, at least as far as I'm concerned. It has a lower founder's reward. Zcash has a 20% founder's reward. Why on earth you would give 20% of a total currency supply to one group of people? I don't know. That's retarded. 8.5% seems more reasonable to give to the developers. You know, it seems a lot more reasonable. The other thing that I really like about the developers for Zen Cash, not only is the reward going to them lower, but they're phenomenal. If you look up videos for Zen Cash, like there's this it's like a white bald guy who looks pretty jacked. I love watching his videos, but he has a lot of information out there, and it seems like Zen Cash has better information out there than Zcash does. And again, I've already said this in this video, but Zen Cash was $6.50 when I first talked about it. It's now $25 at the time I made this video. It might change because it's been going kind of crazy, but it's now $25. So the good thing about this is if you can get in early enough, there's a lot of interest in it right now. Now it might go down from $25, like since it was just at $6.50, it might go down to $10, okay? But the thing about Zen Cash is the fact that it just bumped up in price real quick. There's a lot more people watching Zen Cash than something like Zcoin. Zcoin was a dark horse, so if you buy Zcoin, it might take you a couple years before you make a lot of money off of it. Zen Cash might happen more quickly, but the other thing that's sort of bad about Zen Cash already having increased in price by a factor of 4, obviously you missed out on that money, I missed out on that money, and it just means that it, like, you know, obviously it can't rise as high as if you would have gotten it when it was $6.50. I mean, that's very obvious to say, but since it's already increased in price, you know, 4 times, it can only go so much higher. Now, obviously, if you look at the price of Zcash, that's $250. You know, Zen Cash is $25. And I think Zen Cash is superior to Zcash in every way. So I think Zen Cash could go beyond $250. So I'm not saying like, you know, you won't make big returns. I'm just saying, remember the price has quadrupled basically in like the past, I think, 5 days. So just remember that if you're going to invest in it. And I guess I said the price tripled. That's because when I actually wrote this slide, it had only tripled. But it has since increased since I wrote this slide. So yeah, the price has actually quadrupled at the time I make this video. But the next coin I want to talk about, and this one's super interesting to me, is Bitcoin Cash. And I actually call it Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoin. And the reason why I call it this is because the more I read up on Bitcoin Cash, I didn't really understand it to begin with. But if Bitcoin Cash could, like, the whole point of Bitcoin Cash is to keep all transactions on the blockchain. When Bitcoin goes to Bitcoin Lightning, it's going to kill the Bitcoin blockchain for the most part. Like, almost all of the Bitcoin blockchain will no longer exist. And so you'll lose all the benefits of the Bitcoin blockchain, and that's really not a good thing. Now, that being said, when Bitcoin Lightning comes out, the price of Bitcoin is going to skyrocket. I'm not saying, well, Bitcoin's going to crash. You know, I think I would be very surprised if Bitcoin's price doesn't reach $50,000 at some point. When that some point is, I don't exactly know. I don't think it'll be during this run up. I think it'll probably drop. Like if it hits 10,000, if Bitcoin hits 10,000, I think there's a good chance like that'll be all the higher it goes. But who really knows? But anyways, again, Bitcoin Cash was created specifically so that all the transactions would be on the blockchain. So the one reason why this is huge is if Bitcoin Cash can figure out how to scale on the blockchain, and it shouldn't be that hard. I made a video on it already on how they could do it. It shouldn't be that, well, I mean, it will be hard because it'll take a lot of work and effort, but it should be doable. Even with today's technology, like you should be able to do it today. But if it could do that, like it would absolutely surpass the price of Bitcoin, because technically speaking, Bitcoin Cash, it is the way that Satoshi Nakamoto originally meant Bitcoin to be. And again, I've already said, he's not, you can't take Satoshi Nakamoto's word as the word of God, just like you can't take my word as the word of God, but if you don't have transactions on the blockchain for Bitcoin, what's the point of the blockchain? Like you're killing its blockchain with Lightning. Now you're killing it while also making it a global payment system, so that does increase the price of Bitcoin. But if you can have a global payment system that keeps the blockchain, if you can do that with Bitcoin Cash, then Bitcoin Cash is going to become the dominant cryptocurrency. So the other reason why I like Bitcoin Cash is the price has dropped dramatically, so that's perfect timing. That's when you want to get in. But one thing to remember about Bitcoin Cash, its price is still like $300, so you can't get in on this easily. It's not something that you can, if you don't have a lot of money, Bitcoin Cash isn't your thing. Like if you only have $300 to spend, don't buy Bitcoin Cash. If you only have $300 to spend, buy either Zcoin, PIVX, or Zen Cash, or some sort of combination of all three. That's what you want to do. But if you have a lot of money, like if you've got a lot of Bitcoin and you're looking for something to potentially put some of it into, like maybe you want to put $1,000 into something that might be risky, but who knows, maybe buy Bitcoin Cash. But again, the thing with Bitcoin Cash is it's all dependent upon whether or not the developers can scale it globally while keeping everything on the blockchain. And the reason, again, that I'm not so sure this will happen, so like this one, like if you're going to buy Bitcoin Cash, like I think this one's really risky. I'm not going to buy it because I already own a lot of it, but I'm not planning on selling it, which a lot of people might think is weird because they're like, why not sell it and get free money? Well, I think it could rise in value. But again, like if a new developer or if a developer of a new coin comes out and scales the blockchain or scales their coin globally on the blockchain, that would probably beat Bitcoin Cash, but who really knows? But Bitcoin Cash is very interesting, and the price has dropped low enough that it might be worth buying. Then the final one I've got here is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin right now, I have it as simply overvalued. Now, why is it simply overvalued? It's got massive transaction fees. Like I said, they can come out with the Lightning Network to fix that, but if they do come out with a Lightning Network, it'll kill the blockchain, and that's what I mean with the second point. Bitcoin is moving to kill its own blockchain, and that's a really weird thing to think about. Now again, Bitcoin Lightning is far superior to the Bitcoin we have today. So if Bitcoin Lightning comes out, yeah, that's a great thing. I'm not saying it's not a great thing. I'm just saying there's better ways that you could do it, and if somebody comes up with a better way to do it, then they're going to kill Bitcoin. And so, like, it's a very dangerous thing Bitcoin's doing with Lightning. And I'm not trying to freak everybody out. I still own a lot of Bitcoin. I'm not, like, I mean, I am selling some of it, but I own a lot of Bitcoin, so I'm not saying, like, get out of there. It's a travesty. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's becoming overvalued right now. Not only just because of, I'm not only worried about the whole Bitcoin Lightning thing and it killing its own blockchain, but the price was 167 the last low. Okay, so it's $6,000 now. How long can that continue? It can't go forever. It's almost 40 times the past low. Like, it literally cannot go forever. So again, I'm only telling you to sell like if you have made big returns. If you bought it 4,000, maybe don't sell. I don't know. I bought, the last time I bought Bitcoin, it was $900, so I'm planning on selling because that's I've made huge returns, that's massive returns. So I'm planning on selling, and even if the price goes up, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm not trying to hit the exact peak of the Bitcoin price. I'm just trying to hit higher than what I bought at, and I bought at 900. So that's a lot higher than what I bought at, And for something like Bitcoin, like if you're looking at something like Zcoin, Zen Cash, or PIVX, you can get returns of 20 to 100 times very easily. With Bitcoin at the price it is now, I can only expect maybe 2, 3, 4 times returns. That's best case scenario before it drops again. So the returns aren't nearly as high for Bitcoin right now as they are for these other coins. So you really should be looking to sell Bitcoin, and obviously you have to have bought it earlier than today if you're looking to sell it. And I'm not saying don't buy Bitcoin now, because one thing that I've told people before that never had any Bitcoin, when the price gets high, it's like, well, if you really believe in Bitcoin, even if the price drops, it will again rise higher in value than the last high. So if you were to buy now and the price drops to 2,000, I wouldn't say, you know, like you made a horrible mistake, because I would still think the price of Bitcoin will rise way higher than it is today. It's just this might not be the best timing. But then finally, just to real quick show you guys again all these cryptocurrencies that I have chosen here. I have Zcoin, that's the dark horse, the one nobody's talking about, the one that I think is totally undervalued. Might take a bit longer for this one to take off, so if you'd want to put, you know, you don't have to put much money in it at all, it's only 10 bucks a coin, but you would expect to hold on to it for quite a while. There's also PIVX. PIVX is a proof of stake powerhouse. It's kind of like Zcoin in that it's a dark horse because it's proof of stake, so you might have to hold on to it for a bit of time, but the returns that you can get on PIVX, again, they're massive. They're not as big as the returns you can get on Zcoin, and the only reason that I say that is because it's got a higher market share than Zcoin. Although technically there's a lot more PIVX out right now than Zcoin, but when you have a lot more people who own the coin, there's going to be a lot more people willing to sell it. So the returns on PIVX probably won't be as high as Zcoin, but PIVX, again, because it's basically the only proof of stake coin, and not the only proof of stake coin, but like it's a powerhouse as far as proof of stake is concerned. It's a lot less risky than Zcoin, and I think the profit potential is still very close to what Zcoin would be, so I really like PIVX. Then there's Zen Cash. Again, Zen Cash is better than Zcash in every way. It's already quadrupled in price in like the past 5 days. It can easily go up to into like $200, $300 easily. It can easily do that. So that's a great buy. Bitcoin Cash, this one, it's not a low market cap coin, so I wouldn't recommend buying it unless you have a decent amount of cryptocurrency and money already. But it can be a good buy. This one's super risky though. So like Zcoin, PIVX, and Zen Cash, I'm very confident in those coins, or at least as confident as you can be for a low market cap coin. My confidence in Bitcoin Cash is about the same as my confidence in Zcoin, PIVX, and Zen Cash, but I really think it's something to watch. Like if you own Bitcoin Cash because you already owned Bitcoin, you might think about holding on to it, because when Bitcoin goes to Bitcoin Lightning, like that's going to fundamentally change Bitcoin, and the cryptocurrency world will go, like, will split into two: those who want to scale on the blockchain and those who don't. And just so you know, like, this is a big debate in the Bitcoin community. One person who really has backed Bitcoin Cash hard is Roger Ver, and he's called the Bitcoin Jesus. So when the Bitcoin Jesus is backing Bitcoin Cash, and Roger Ver still owns a lot of Bitcoin, so I'm not saying he's telling you to get off the Bitcoin boat completely either, but when the guy who is called Bitcoin Jesus is investing in Bitcoin Cash, you might want to consider why. And then again, finally, Bitcoin, that one I just think it's time to sell because it's risen in price almost 40 times what it was before. So if you're looking for big returns, Bitcoin's not really it. Again, the price of Bitcoin, like, I expect it someday to reach at least 50,000. I personally think it'll get a lot higher than 50,000, but like I'll stake my reputation that eventually the price of Bitcoin will reach 50,000. Do I think it's going to reach 50,000 during this run up? No, I don't. I really don't. It could. I don't think it will. I think it'll start dropping beforehand. I think it'll hit 50,000 on the next run up. But again, Bitcoin right now, if you've had Bitcoin for a while, it's the time to sell. I would look into getting altcoins, small market cap coins like Zcoin, PIVX, and Zen Cash. That's literally exactly what I'm doing right now. But anyways, hopefully this video was helpful. And again, don't take my word as though it's the word of God. You can't follow me blindly. You have to make the decision yourself. But the top 3 coins, if you're looking for low market cap altcoins, those are great coins. Again, Zen Cash has already quadrupled in price in the past 5 days, so hopefully, like, I really hope somebody watched the video and bought some. I know only, like, when I was making those videos, only like 20 people watched those videos, so probably nobody saw that. Probably nobody bought the coin. That's unfortunate. I didn't buy the coin either, so that's unfortunate. But I'm going to buy Zen Cash, I'm going to buy PIVX, I'm going to buy Zcoin. So those are my thoughts on different altcoins. There's other altcoins out there. There's other altcoins that I like. I might make some videos on those too. But anyways, if you really want to learn about this stuff, again, just do your research. There's a lot of money to be made, but